Hello, and welcome to Plan-It Montgomery, the show that brings you the latest news on the Montgomery County Planning Department. I'm your host, Michael Brown. We have a great show lined up for you, recapping some of the great projects and events that have been brought to you by Montgomery Planning. We'll take a tour of mid-century modern architecture, try out a simulated separated bike lane, and introduce you to new board member Gerald Cici. All this and more in this edition of Plan-It Montgomery. It was a night of celebrating and raising the bar for excellent design in Montgomery County at the second annual Design Excellence Awards. The Silver Spring Library took home the top design for Best in Architectural Design in the county. Our crew was there to talk with the VIPs and get feedback from the winners in this recap.
Well, this is our second Design Excellence Award event, and it is so exciting. We have 6 fantastic projects that are going to be honored tonight and really represent the great progress we're making in Montgomery County to sort of up our game in terms of design excellence.
I am here to celebrate successful, great architecture, but really to show my support for raising expectations about what architecture can and should be in Montgomery County. You know, we didn't have, I think, historically, the benefit of a lot of great architecture on our signature commercial buildings and even a lot of our government buildings. And we can do better. So, you know, what we're trying to do is create a culture in this county that values design and architecture. That's what these awards are all about. And I'm really delighted to be here to meet with so many great architects who have been involved in these awesome projects.
We're committing to not only holding events like this that invite competition among the various real estate developers, architects, urban designers to really create some healthy sort of gamesmanship to see who can build the best project and be recognized for it publicly. But we're also building stronger requirements for excellent design and architecture into our master plans, into our development review process, and we think that we are making some strides in raising the bar for design across the county.
You here in this room are artists, and you're inspiring. You're inspiring me, you're inspiring the community, you're inspiring other architects to to create a vision of the community that we are and the community that we can be.
Design excellence is important to Montgomery County because if it can't happen here, it can't happen anyplace. It's an opportunity to really build upon the population and what their goals and objectives are, and to create buildings and communities and parks and all of the other things that make a community to be consistent with the quality of the people.
It's fantastic. It does encourage people, as the chairman says, to strive for an environment that looks great, and I think it's a terrific event. But I think it does inspire people and their performance of the job they do to be around good architecture.
It's so important to raise the bar when it comes to design because it's a reflection of who we are as a community. It's a reflection of that, of the quality that we want and the vibrancy of the community that we have in Montgomery County.
Now for a quick roundup of some of the latest plans and projects. The County Council recently approved an update to the Subdivision Staging Policy, which is the policy updated every 4 years to guide growth. After many community meetings and work sessions, the update was approved by the council using the guiding principle that one-size regulation does not fit all. The new policy recognizes that the future of Montgomery County will be more multimodal, more diverse, and more populous, and require increasingly more innovative ideas on how to provide public facilities that support our quality of life. Go online to learn more about this important policy update. Two plans are in the process of being reviewed by the Planning Board. The Rock Spring Master Plan and the White Flint 2 Sector Plan seek to identify opportunities to reinvigorate suburban office parks in North Bethesda. In Rock Spring, a central street for cars, bicycles, and pedestrians is planned to connect districts with a village center and mixed-use regional marketplace. In the White Flint 2 Sector Plan, new development is encouraged to reinvigorate vacant office buildings and introduce street activating uses and new open spaces for the public. The Bethesda Downtown and Greater Liddensville sector plans are now with the County Council, and both recommend new parks and open spaces in close proximity to public transit. These landscape public areas allow for community events, casual picnics, and breathing room. Go online to find out about these two inside the Beltway plans. The Montgomery County Planning Department's Historic Preservation Office has been working to raise awareness and appreciation for mid-century modern architecture through their Montgomery Modern program. Recently, the department organized a bus tour of modern homes and buildings designed by a leading modernist architecture firm from the 50s and 60s. Here's the story.
Both of these houses have been... Today we're having a tour of mid-century modern architecture in Montgomery County. This is our third annual tour through the Montgomery County Initiative. It's an initiative of the Montgomery County Planning Department. And we're focusing this year on the work of Dygert and Yerkes. They were a local architectural firm that specialized in modern design. We're looking at both housing projects and also public buildings. We're here right now in the primary day school, which was designed by Dygert and Yerkes.
I live in Virginia and was not familiar with Montgomery County, and it's amazing that I've lived here for 10 years and had no idea this existed. So I'm really glad that Montgomery County and Claire organized this, and I like that it's a range of residential projects as well as school and church projects. It's really nice to see not just houses but other types of architecture as well.
People really don't consider buildings that were built when they were living to be historic, so they think that only old buildings are historic, but as time passes by, we have resources that were built that were unique that we're going to lose if we don't look at them and start saving them now. So it's really important to see, because right now I think mid-century modern is very popular as well, and these homes fall right into that category. And the furniture that we see, all the design that we see came from that period. So it's really important to look and see how it was actually used in the time that it was built.
It's really wonderful to see the interest in this tour and in the Montgomery Modern Initiative. We've had great support from the public, and it shows us that our residents and the public is very interested in modern architecture, and it's really great to see the turnout we have here today.
Every year, parking spaces around the county are temporarily transformed for one day on Parking Day. It is to encourage awareness related to urban infrastructure and open space. This year, the Montgomery County Planning Department, Montgomery Parks, and the County Department of Transportation partnered together to build a pop-up park and a simulated separated bike lane in downtown Silver Spring. It was an opportunity to promote the Bicycle Master Plan, which is currently in progress. We were there to talk with board members who even hopped on two wheels at this event.
Today's Parking Day, and the Planning Department, the Bicycle Master Plan team, is demonstrating a separated bike lane on Fenton Street in Silver Spring. Fenton Street without separated bike lanes would be an uncomfortable riding experience for most people. Certainly not something you'd want to allow your children to do, but the provision of separated bike lanes, especially with good separation, is something that should be comfortable for all people to ride on. I think we just saw a family riding by on the sidewalk. Those people are not going to ride in the street without a separated bike lane.
I think it's great. The issue is how secure people feel when they're biking. I think it's great. It gives them a little space to maneuver. Obviously, some people are very skilled in biking and they'll be in the roadway, but I think it's great to have a separate lane, and I think it's worth supporting.
No question that the we can make bike infrastructure, the more appealing it will be and the more people that it will draw. The kinds of people who are afraid to ride in traffic or just don't find it very pleasant to be riding in the road will have one less reason not to give it a try.
The Planning Board is in the process of reviewing the Bicycle Master Plan's framework report. So what that's going to do is it establishes an approach to the plan. It identifies goals and objectives that will be driving the plan, the different types of bikeways that will be investigated, and then a monitoring report that is intended to track the progress in implementing the plan over the coming years. So we're in the midst of that process now. We've had one work session, and the Planning Board still has a couple of smaller issues to resolve, and we hope to do that in the coming weeks.
I think it's going even better than I expected. The planning staff and some of the consultants that we're working with have come up with new ways to analyze where the bike infrastructure is needed, where it could be most cost effective, by identifying places where it would be most practical to get around on a bicycle and where we can deliver that infrastructure at a reasonable cost.
The Montgomery County Planning Board is a 5-member body appointed by the County Council. They are charged with overseeing land use policies and practices in the county. This means the board decides on everything from zoning cases to master plans to new development and historic preservation. There is a new board member who was recently appointed to a 4-year term. His name is Gerald R. Seachy, and he brings a wealth of knowledge to the board as a transportation engineer and planner. Here is more with board member Seachy.
I, Gerald Sishy,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear.
that I will support.
My name is Gerald Sishy. I've been a resident of the county since about December 1969. I actually was born in Boston and grew up in Jersey City, New Jersey. That's where I got my interest in urban planning and transportation. This was actually during World War II, so we didn't have cars and it was hard to get gas. So on Sunday, our excursion was to the city of New York, either by ferry boat or by the 108 bus or the subway. And that's where my interest in transportation and planning began. Interestingly, my daughter recommended that I go through the senior leadership program in Montgomery County. And if I understand one thing from that, it's collaboration. It's actually citizens, the business community, government, nonprofits working together. My wife and I and our children have been benefited from the economic development in the county, certainly from the schools, and we certainly have enjoyed the parks. Both my son lives in Chevy Chase and my daughter in Rockville. She's actually in a historic home, so I have an interest in historic preservation. It's something that I think it's important that the county continues to grow in a planned way, and that's part of why I hope to make a positive contribution. I'm certainly thankful for the confidence that the County Council put in me and appointing me to that position, and I look forward really to learning more about the county as well. County needs to grow. I think we need to retain many of the business we have, but we need some new businesses. It winds up providing jobs, business development. Also, as development occurs, we support programs like affordable housing and moderate price dwelling units. We also support the parks, and again, it's collaboration between citizens, government, business, and the citizens.
That's it for this edition of Plan-It Montgomery. You can learn more about these projects and plans by going to montgomeryplanning.org and connect with us online on Twitter at Montgomery Plans and on Facebook at facebook.com/Montgomery Planning. I'm your host, Michael Brown. Until next time, we'll be planning Montgomery.